guys, it's Vi. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to day number 5 of my 7-day Healthy Eating Kickstart challenge here on my channel. So this morning we're having toast with hummus and egg and tomato, I think is what they call it. Okay, fine. So it's toast with hummus, tomato, and a boiled egg. My bad. That's what it's called. Anyways, gonna grab all those supplies and then I'll be right back. Alright, and I'm back with all my supplies. So the recipe says 2 small sourdough pieces of bread. So I'm using an English muffin. This is a sourdough English muffin. 2 tablespoons of hummus. So I'm going to use 2 tablespoons in here. This is the organic hummus. It's the single serving. So I'm going to use that. 1 tomato, which I've got right here, Roma. Hard-boiled egg, which I boiled last night, so it's nice and hard-boiled. So I just got to peel that and cut it. And then about 2 teaspoons of Italian parsley, which I have right here. So I'm going to cut that all up. Alrighty, my friends, breakfast is done, and let me tell you, it was amazing. So the hummus was creamy, my egg was creamy, the tomatoes were really juicy, and the fresh herbs on there off the hook. And the sourdough, the bread, it almost had a sweet flavor when you paired it with everything else. And it was also very pleasant. It wasn't soggy, which I thought it might end up being because I don't like soggy foods. And so I was like, okay, I hope this toast and the hummus, I hope the hummus doesn't sink into my toast and make this soggy. It didn't. It was very pleasant. I thought also, as the ever skeptic, this isn't going to have much flavor, because there was no salt and pepper, there was no dressing, there was nothing on it. Proved me wrong. It was fresh, it was tasty, it was fabulous. I also thought, okay, this is another open-faced sandwich. It's going to be a disaster, more or less, like yesterday's lunch, where I have my fork and it's all over the place, and I kind of wish that I would have made them separate and just eaten the separate things on my plate instead of all at one. Proved me wrong once again, because guys, it all stayed on my sourdough muffin, and it was fantastic. That was great. I have no complaints whatsoever. It was super easy to make, and it was very enjoyable. So yeah. And as a bonus, I will say, I don't use fresh herbs very often, but you can't beat the flavor. You can't. It was so fresh tasting. I loved it. Anyways, I will see you guys again at lunchtime. Alrighty, my friends, it is lunchtime, and on the menu is a beef salad noodle jar. So I'm gonna go gather everything, and then we're gonna have a chat. Right here we have a 1/3 cup of dry soba noodles. There's nothing on them. They've been cooked, so they're okay to eat right now. I have about a teaspoon of miso paste. Now, the miso paste I'm using, I actually had to get it out of here. I could not find it anywhere else, but in this handy dandy bowl, it came with the noodles that I need, it came with some tofu stuff, and it came with some sauce. So that's what the miso is for me, the miso paste. I looked everywhere on the shelves and I couldn't find anything else. That's the closest I could get. This also has 2 teaspoons of lemon juice and two teaspoons of a white rice wine vinegar. Then we have what's going to be approximately 1 cup of sliced veggies. I've got a cucumber here, a carrot here, and a red bell pepper. I have approximately a 1/4 cup of mixed salad greens. These are my green leaf lettuce. And then I have a 1/4 cup of beef that I cooked last night. So all this is going to go in a bowl together, and then it's going to be lunchtime. Thoughts on lunch. If I'm 100% honest, which I'm always honest on my videos, I was not a fan of that one. The lemon juice is tart, vinegar is tart. It was just too sour tasting for me. So I don't know if this mirin, we didn't have that, but the closest thing I could find was a rice wine vinegar. Maybe mirin is a sweeter flavoring of that, so maybe I should add some sugar to it next time. Maybe I would add less of the lemon juice, add less of the rice wine vinegar. I'm really not sure. I will say that the cucumbers and the meat were really good. The cucumbers were nice and juicy. The meat was tasty. I mean, it tasted good. And when the meat has a little bit of that flavoring on it, it had a nice flavor, and it wasn't overpowering. I just didn't care for it, like on the lettuce leaves, and I wasn't a fan of the texture of the noodles, like the yakisoba noodles. I'm not a fan of the texture of them. But otherwise, I guess it was okay. It was fresh tasting. It's not my favorite. I'm full, but I'm not overly full. I'm just, you know, perfectly happy right now. This would be day 2 of me being perfectly good after having my breakfast and after having my lunch. My impression is that my body wasn't used to eating, so I was feeling really full after having just a small bit of food in the morning. And the same could be said for lunchtime, because I had breakfast, I was still kind of full. I guess I had some residual food in my stomach possibly that was causing me to have an over full feeling. Is what I believe that it is, because now after, I think it was day 3 or 4 when I noticed, I'm going to say day 4 just to be on the safe side, when I noticed that I was no longer feeling overly full. I was feeling perfectly good. So I think that it's good that my body is on this regimen. I waited about an hour longer than normal that I've been making my breakfast this morning, and I could tell because I was actually physically hungry and waiting for breakfast, like I was anticipating and anxious about breakfast. So the good news is, my friends, is that having the regimen breakfast and lunch is good. Plus, I find I haven't had any coffee since I started my 7-day healthy eating challenge. and I feel like I have even more energy than I did before. My house upkeep and keeping up with Aria, everything is a lot easier, and I don't know if it's because I'm literally, the main change is that I'm having a breakfast, and it's a good breakfast that's setting like the precedence for the rest of my day, but I have more energy, I feel good, I'm excited about making the recipes. I don't know, life is good. So even though this recipe for lunch was not a good favorite of mine, like I'm not going to probably do it again, I will say that this whole thing overall has been really good. My breakfast this morning, amazing. And my lunch, not so much. But you know what? If you like stuff that's a little more tart, because I'm not a huge fan of, say, like Italian dressings or anything that has a real tart flavor to begin with, as far as that goes, like a real tart citrus, I'm not a fan of that. So I'm almost not surprised that I didn't really grasp onto this recipe. So I don't know, but I wanted to give it a try because, as always, you know, I want to try these recipes. I'm trying new things, new flavors are happening, new textures, and it's amazing. Anyways, guys, that's everything for day number 5 of my 7-day Healthy Eating Kickstart challenge here on my channel. 2 more days to go, my friends, and they are meals for 4. So I'm going to be having Aria and my husband join me for breakfast and lunch tomorrow and on the next day. So that's everything for today. I will see all of you guys for day 6. So go out there, stand up tall, wear a crown, be sweet on the inside, eat healthy, my friends. Mwah. Bye.